Welcome to football here on Monday night to round out week 10 of season 24 of the SFL here on VFN. As we welcome you into Lycanthrope Field at Evo 9X Stadium, as the Los Angeles Lycans welcome in the Vancouver Legion. Welcome inside the broadcast booth, everybody, alongside SFLM Commissioner Alex West. My name is Eric Benson. Ron Haynes and Jacob Clear in the stats truck. Commissioner Cameron Irvine back at SFL HQ. And Alex, you know, this could be one of those sneaky matchups here tonight. You know, LA, they play tough here at home. They've got a good pass defense, and we've seen Vancouver throw the ball all over the yard. So this might be one of those games that LA just steals away from Vancouver tonight.
Truly, it's going to be a test of this LA secondary tonight, and also how well is the pass rush going to do in making the life of Vancouver's quarterbacks, Christian Brown, more difficult. By the way, Christian Brown is known to be having an absolutely stellar season so far, leading the league in completion percentage at about 63%, number one in QBR as well, having himself a season already. So it'll be a tough test. We'll see who comes out on top. Number one against number one. Whose gold number will reign supreme?
Absolute stellar season for Christian Brown, but LA going to start the game off with the football, and a good return out to the 25-yard line. The Lycans will start with the football. Sully Richardson, the quarterback, number 6, under center for LA.
Not a bad return to start things off from the 25-yard line, though. This is where Sully Richardson is going to have to do some work. He's going to have to establish himself as a quarterback to be respected, or else Vancouver will just stack the box.
Starting off with 7 in the box on defense is Vancouver. Richardson going to throw right away, and he's got a completion out over the middle near midfield. And a big play to start things off for this LA passing attack.
And look who it is over the middle running a seam route. It's none other than Adam Grabowski, the free agent signing, former Arizona Scorpion, who finds himself with one-on-one coverage, but a safety that just seems a little lost on that play. He makes a jump and catch.
Not quite to the midfield stripe. Mark him right around the 49-yard line of LA. Chris Lee in motion. Richardson back to the air. Going to throw a short one, and that one was almost picked off. Second down. We'll look at the offense here for LA. Sully Richardson, a quarterback. Darius Iniguez, Patrick Rudlang, and Sawyer Stern are the running backs. Dan Curtis is the fullback, rounding out the backfield. Bubba Tree, LZ Pryor, Chris Lee are the wide receivers. We saw Grabowski there at tight end along with Jack Flash. Oren Wilds, Bob Witoska, Hunter Witoska, and Alteus Wilds are rounding out the offensive line for LA. Richardson still going to the air. He's going to throw a juiced one over the middle there, intended for Lee, and that's going to bring up third down.
3rd and 10 here. You know, they get one big play. You can say, you know, hey, at least we got the ball to about midfield. We're not punting out of our own, deep out of our own territory. We didn't 3 and out, but it doesn't feel good to have one big play immediately fizzle out. You got to get something here.
All passing plays to this point. We're going to see another one here on 3rd and long. Richardson near the line to gain. Catch is made. LZ Pryor with the first down catch, and they will sneak in to Vancouver territory near the 35-yard line.
And and we can see here, it's a man coverage look from Vancouver, who have a lot of defenders on the right side of the field matching up in one-on-one coverage, leaving Pryor all alone in one-on-one on the left side coming across, and that gives him the space he needs to make that kind of completion.
Formation here. LA still sticking with the air attack.
Ooh, my.
Tried to thread a needle there. I don't know if that was the pass you necessarily wanted to throw, and it's going to bring up second down.
Ron Hoff almost had that one. Two-time All-Star. It's a little bit surprising to me that he didn't manage to intercept that one with how it seemed like he had a completely clear lane to play the ball.
A lot of man defense so far here for the Legion as they continue to come out in a man look. Second down, Richardson retreats, sets his feet, fires into coverage and incomplete, bringing up third down. And we'll look at the Vancouver defense here quickly while we have a chance. Boba Caudill, Achilles Papatanis, Gerald Giudice, and Michael Rury along the front four. Josh Farnsey, DJ Woods, Marquise Reed are the linebackers. Emmanuel Blackman, Michael Lister, and Ron Hoff the corners. Jack Russell, Drew Hamilton, and Mark Lopez are the safeties. 3rd and 10 now for the Lycans. Richardson gonna check it down. Iniguez with his first action of the game. Not anywhere close to the line to gain as Hoff makes the tackle. Gonna bring up a 4th and 6, and I think we'll see a long field goal attempt here for LA.
Definitely, and this is a play where I understand what they didn't get enough yards to feel confident in the leg of John Smith here. That's a shame.
So instead, Smith is going to handle the punting duties rather than a field goal attempt. Going to let that one bounce, and it's going to trickle out of bounds inside the 20-yard line. So nothing doing for the Lycans on their opening possession, and now we'll see Christian Brown come out to lead the Vancouver offense.
Let's talk about that 3rd and 10 for just 1 second. We had a bunch of routes on the right side, on the strong side of the field, and they ran a clear out to try and make the flat happen. Unfortunately, it just didn't work.
Might be something that the LA coaching staff is looking at on the sidelines as Vancouver gets their first crack at the football, and they're going to start on the ground, and that's going to be the fullback Mateo Privado with the first carry and a gain of 3.
And that's one of 2 fullbacks that this Legion have. They really use Privado and Nakai almost as power backs, where Ike McBride is the really shifty one of the 2. But Ike is 6'2", 260 as well, so they're all power backs in their own right.
Checks into the ball game. She gets her first pitch. Trying to find the far sideline. It does. Stays in bounds as well. And gets plenty of yardage there to move the sticks for the Legion.
And she's just so hard to bring down. Again, it's that 6'2", 260 frame. She's known to rumble. She's known to love contact, but she also has that ability to get to the edge. It's that 10-year history of playing in this league that gives you that savvy veteran moves around the sideline.
Certainly gives a threat for the Vancouver backfield. I mean, it certainly helps having the likes of Suna Nakai and Mateo Privado back there, but a back like McBride certainly just puts the icing on the cake. First down now, following the McBride run. Privado back to the ground game, and LA bottles that one up. Short gain of 2. We'll look at the Vancouver offense. Christian Brown at quarterback. Ike McBride, Suna Nakai, and Mateo Privado in the backfield for the Legion. Nick Lockett, the Hall of Famer Brett Killian, Ezekiel Bear, Lili Nakai are the wide receivers. Sharona Privado, John Michael Sudduth the tight ends. Gregory Winnell, Leo Chang, and Rylan Caudill, along with Mango S. Moody and Barucha Grayjam along the offensive line. As Privado gets another carry there. Another short gain, this time about 3 yards, and it's going to bring up 3rd and manageable.
Really feels like the Legion at this exact moment knew that while LA has a top-tier pass defense, they also have one of the worst run defenses. So they're happy to run it down your throats to open up this passing attack.
Brown to the air. He's going to throw. Catch is made by BK12, and he's going to have a first down. And it looks like Christian Brown actually got injured on that play. That'll be a huge loss for the Legion offense if he's not able to come back to action. We'll have to keep a close eye on that from the medical staff for the Legion.
And it's not that backup quarterbacks cannot have success in the league, but they do require talented players to make that happen. You couldn't ask for many more talented than Brett Killian himself.
So now backup quarterback Mark Hasselbeck will check in. He'll pitch it over to Privado.
Oh, my.
Good stiff arm there and able to stay in bounds. Another stiff arm as he's going out. And a gain of 8 there for the Legion on first down.
Mateo Heisman Privado over here. Look at the dirty work he's doing to this secondaries who keep trying to tackle him. No, you're not going to get this guy down to the ground when he outweighs you by 40 pounds and has a full head of steam.
Just outside the 30-yard line of LA, 2nd and 2. Hasselbeck, draw play. Good job by the LA defense, but it's going to be a first down for McBride as she moves the sticks and keeps the drive alive. We'll look at the LA defense here quickly. We've got Alex Perez, Ace Blackwell, Selwyn Lane, and Nick Brummer, along with Bear Winters along the defensive line. Tazzy Blackwell, Greg Ward, and Brogan Speraw are the linebackers. Devontae Moore, Mike Scott, Eaton Moss, the corners. Michelle Colston, Monte Wyatt, and Ben Charbs are the safeties, as Bravado has difficulty going anywhere on that one, and it's only a gain of 2, second down.
The LA defense, noticing the change in the quarterback and aware of what's happening here, is electing to stack the box a little more, especially with how much Vancouver has been running it early.
5 in the box on this play. Blitz coming. Hasselbeck going to throw his first pass. He had an open man there, but good defense on the back end by the LA secondary forces the incompletion and a third down.
Obvious passing situation here. You are within range of chance to win's leg. There is no question about that. So it's just about trying to get this first down to move the sticks without turning the football over. That's the key.
4 wide single back. Hasselbeck under center. Blitz going to be coming. Hasselbeck in trouble. He's going to step up and he's going to go down. Great defensive play call by LA to go ahead and send the extra pressure on the backup quarterback. Alex Perez able to get the sack, and a fourth down upcoming for Vancouver.
And Perez, you think sometimes some people would say he's a little undersized for the position considering he's only 265, but that makes his frame a lot more agile than other guys at his position. You can see how he wraps around the edge there to make that close cut and actually get his hands on the quarterback. Great job.
To win, able to bend that one through the uprights. Perez 3.5 sacks on the season, forcing the field goal attempt there. Vancouver on the board, and LA gets a crack at the football after their defense holds the Legion on their first possession.
And that's a real statement from the Lycans defense, and also something to watch will be to see if and when Christian Brown decides or is able to make a reappearance. That's going to change the nature of that offense.
Bubba Tree with the return. He'll make it out just shy of the 30-yard line, out to the 29, 4:35 to go here in the first quarter. LA, promising looking drive to start things off, had a couple big chunk plays, couldn't quite put it all together, ended up in a punt in Vancouver territory. We'll see how Sully Richardson responds with the second possession here. Back to the air. Ooh. Pressure in his face, almost got intercepted by the defensive line. I mean, he had pressure right in his face by Michael Rury, and he almost came up with the big man pick.
Rury there with the opportunity and making window, and you wouldn't think necessarily that he's going to be a huge pass deflection threat, given that he's only 6'1", but that doesn't matter whenever he's able to get up in your face at a moment's notice.
Richardson on second down. One-on-one coverage, able to throw a completion there to Chris Lee and a first down. At least passing attack looking good early on, and they are on the verge of breaking this thing open, it seems.
It's close. It's one of those things where Chris Lee, you can see where he's been targeted a couple of times prior to this, but hasn't been able to bring it in. There have been a few instances where we've seen Sully Richardson look down the field looking for these home run balls, and his receivers are getting hit as they're trying to corral these in.
Still staying with the air, this time a check down over the middle. Catch is made by Pryor. A gain of 6 yards, keeps him ahead of schedule, brings up second down.
And that finally gets Sully Richardson to 50% completion on the day so far, 5 of 10. It's once again all about how physical this secondary is being with the big hits.
Still haven't run the ball yet. And we'll see our first one here. Iniguez gets blown up in the backfield. And absolutely no shot there as DJ Woods shot the gap, and it's going to break up a 3rd and 5.
DJ Woods has been sitting on that one, waiting for this play to come up, waiting for this exact situation. He's been eating so much film, and he saw exactly what he wanted there.
3rd and 5 now. Richardson, blitz coming. He's going to have no chance. He gets dragged down right near the midfield stripe by Gerald Giudice, and it's going to bring up a 4th and long.
Absolutely run over. This front 5 is having a hard time containing the pass rush from the Legion just in these one-on-one situations. And when the Legion send the house, suddenly there's no way that anyone's winning these one-on-ones.
Very much like on the last possession, great defensive play call to go ahead and send the extra pressure. Richardson had no shot. Giudice with an easy sack there, and Vancouver going to take over at their own 15-yard line.
Now, a lot of pressure is going to be on LA's defense here to generate a stop as fast as you can. Stack the box, expect runs, because pinned inside their own 15, they are not going to be asking Mark Hasselbeck to sling the football a lot.
Hasselbeck is still in the game. Christian Brown injured on the last possession. Still have not heard what the extent of his injury is. Hasselbeck to throw. He's in trouble. Avoids the sack. Throws it into coverage and incomplete. Looked like he maybe had a man, just threw it a little bit too short, and the LA defense was all over it.
And there was no chance for him to really make any sort of plays there because of how fast that pass rush was on him. You saw that he was able to luckily break one sack attempt because he was already backpedaling, but I wouldn't count on him to not throw a pick in that kind of situation in the future.
And 4 wide bunch receivers. Hasselbeck back to the air. Sidearms it. Finds BK12. That's going to be a first down near the 35-yard line of Vancouver. Move the sticks for the Legion.
And this is all just a fact of Brett Killian being one of the most supremely talented wide receivers in the SFL. One-on-one against Rochelle Colston, she does not have a chance to actually make that play in that instance.
Second most career receiving yards. Second most career everything for a receiver, honestly. If there was no DR Sim in the SFL, then he'd be number 1. Pitch play. Bravado gets stood right at the line. Great play there by Rochelle Colston to come up and play run support.
You think she's a little pissed that she got a completion thrown over her head after that last one? I think she's a little pissed.
So. No gain, 2nd and 10. Hasselbeck throws, bumps it off the helmet there. And it's going to bring up 3rd down, looking for Lockett on that play.
She's pissed off. She absolutely lit up Tyler Lockett on that one. You see how that, or Nick Lockett, you see how it fell to the turf, but not before 22 through the shoulder.
Third and 10. Started off 3-1, now going 2-2. Big defensive possession here for the Lycans. Hasselbeck in trouble. He's going to throw. Somehow completes it to Lili Nakai. Thread the needle between 2 defenders.
And that's just such a tough pass to really see. You don't expect backup quarterbacks to be able to fit balls in those types of windows, nor much less have that kind of pocket presence. But it must be just such a comforting facet to have a target like Lili Nakai out there. 6'6", 240. You can't miss her.
Ooh, and Ben Charbs, his eyes lit up. You know what he did. Seeing that football thrown there in that tight window. Bravado, tough running here so far in the early going, and a 9-yard rumble there for the fullback.
If the Lycans do not stack the box, this Wolfpack is going to keep getting their lighter members bowled over like they're, honestly, like they're Kansas soup.
Another promising possession here for Vancouver. Under a minute to go here in the first. LA showing blitz again. They're going to send it. Delayed handoff, and McBride got just enough there. Only a couple of yards, but it's going to move the sticks once more for Vancouver.
I don't see Ike McBride getting sat down many times on those tackles like that. She normally is able to push forward for an extra yard or 2.
Three and one, bunch receivers towards the bottom of the formation for Hasselbeck, who's under center. He's going to throw, sets his feet, fires into traffic, and incomplete. He was looking for Killian, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
A swarm of blue jerseys in the area. This is one of those super tight timing routes that you have to hit just right to make it all work. And it's one of those that is so difficult to actually execute if there's zone coverage and traffic in the way.
Clay's been sending pressure all night. They're going to continue to do so. Wide open man, that's Killian, and he's got it inside the 20. Into the SFL red zone we go as we near the end of the first.
Time and time again, we've been seeing that they've got Brett Killian lining up on different parts of the offense, different zones, but typically lining up in that slot on the left side or on the outside if he's on the right side. Here he lines up in the slot. He runs this route that takes him towards the outside sideline, and it's money.
End of one already. Very quick first quarter as Vancouver has a 3-0 lead over the hometown LA Lycans, but they are knocking on the door. Stay with us. You're watching the SFL on VFN. Eric Vincent and Alex West here in the broadcast booth. Ron Haynes, Jacob Clear in the stats truck. Commissioner Cameron Irvine back at SFL HQ. Second quarter of action underway here in the City of Angels as Bravado trying to shuffle his way out of the backfield. And again, good run defense here for the Lycans. Only maybe half a yard on that play.
Finally stiffening up a bit here now that they're inside the red zone. The field does get much easier to defend as it gets shorter.
LA allowed about 50 yards rushing in that first quarter of play. Delayed handoff here to McBride. And only about maybe a few. Gonna bring up third and manageable, though. Big third down here for the Lycans.
That's the second time I've seen Brogan Sparrow actually make a one-on-one open field tackle against Ike McBride and win it handily.
Hasselbeck rolls out, sets his feet. He's going to fire end zone, and it's incomplete. There were 4 different Lycans that had an opportunity at the pick in the end zone, and instead it's going to bring up a field goal attempt for the Legion.
I'm telling you, after this, the coach is going to have them playing with volleyballs for tip drills on hours on end, because how on earth do you not come up with a takeaway with that many blue jerseys around the football?
Short field goal attempt here for chance to win. He knocked one through earlier, only points of the game, and he adds another one here to make it 6-0. 13 plays, 77 yards. And it all results in a field goal. I'd say it's a good job, though, with a backup quarterback, especially considering we don't know what the status is for Christian Brown for the rest of the game.
Couldn't agree more. I mean, let's look at the drive summary. 13 plays, 77 yards total gain. It's only 5 run plays to 6 pass plays. So keeping the play calling balanced, even though your star QB is down, it's a ballsy call, and it paid off for them. They got 59 yards to the air on this last drive.
Good kickoff for to win. About 5 yards deep into the end zone, and Pryor's going to take a knee to bring it out to the 20.
So if we're looking at LA's offense, what are we trying to ask them to do a little bit more of? I don't think running the ball is the answer here.
No, I don't think it is. I mean, they've been doing a good job with throwing the football. Just needs to find a little bit more consistency as Iniguez gets a screen pass coming out of the backfield, and that's a hell of a good start right there as you're utilizing the pass game as an extension of the run game and a first down right away.
An absolutely perfect moment to utilize that swing pass as you see Iniguez putting a move on Jack Russell there, the safety who tries to come down to make that tackle.
Richardson to the air again, trying to find Pryor. Just was not finished with the route, not expecting the football, and I think hit him right in the face mask. It's going to bring up second down.
And that's also just because the defenders are there to impede that foot traffic, which is legal within those first few yards of the line of scrimmage. You do have a cushion where you can get a little physical. Vancouver happy to take advantage of that.
Second down, single back. Richardson back to the air, retreating, throwing off his back foot, and he finds Pryor, but did not get the feet in bounds, and it's going to bring up third down.
Ooh, I really wish we could see a replay on that. Oh, and we will get one.
There we go. Let's take a retroactive look at the play. Get your console to play SFL on the go at GoRetroid.com. Watching it in real time, Alex, it looked like me, because we only need the 1 foot here in the SFL, right? It looked like that 1 foot might have gotten down.
It looked like it certainly. Let's see in the slow-mo. Yo,
Yeah.
It's gotta be. Come on. He grabs it, 1 foot. There it is.
Yep.
After review, the play stands. The pass was incomplete. The catch was made out of bounds.
Bated breath in the stadium. Oh, and the home crowd goes
the
wild.
ruling on the field is going to stand, and man, it got loud in the stadium right now.
Oh, they are
Lycanthrope Field
furious.
is fuming.
You could say that they're baying for blood in the stands.
Certainly fitting for a pack of Lycan fans. It's after the questionable decision there on the review, 3rd down, and it's going to force a 4th down off the incompletion, and that's just going to irritate them even more here.
It really should, and it should, because that is not a ball that Chris Lee should have dropped. That ball is maybe a little high because he's having to turn and jump to go get it, but he got his hands on it before the defenders were even there, and it came straight off his gloves. He did not reel it in like he should have.
Low snap, but the punt gets away, and it's a good one. Out to the Vancouver 30-yard line, and Lily Nakai is going to return it about 8 yards out to the 38 with 8:22 to go here in the first half of play. Hey, listen up. That convention we've been talking about for months, well, you better make plans now before flights get more expensive and work says you can't go. The 2025 SFL convention kicks off the league's 25th anniversary season, July 10th through the 14th. Join SFL Nation at the rooftop pool of our host hotel, the Hyatt Regency. You can reserve your room now at the special group rate at simfl.net. You don't want to miss it. Hasselbeck still in the game. One-handed catch by BK12. Good 9 yards there for the Legion. Brings up 2nd down.
And the fun fact about that convention, just to touch on that for a moment, did you know that this will be the very first convention that will feature an SFLM matchup slate?
I did not know that. Juicy tidbit there from the SFLM commissioner. 2nd and 1. Pitch play to Mateo Bravado, who gets blown up right at the line of scrimmage. He does get just enough forward progress to get the 1st down, though.
That feels like a pity spot because they saw how hard he got hit on that one. It's like, no, we'll give you the 1.
Wow. Ike McBride back in the ball game. Shuffling around, somehow stays in bounds and eventually gets dragged out, but not before she gets 1st down yardage. Good running so far from the Legion running backs.
And this Legion offense as a whole has been happy to lean on this run a little bit, and it's been paying dividends for them. On their very first drive, they ran 8 run plays to only 2 pass plays. Of course, we saw their star QB go down, so that forces an immediate response, but here we're seeing them continue to lean a little bit on that run, and it's working.
We've seen a couple runs like that from McBride tonight where you're thinking she's going out of bounds, but no, she somehow Michael Jackson's the sideline and is able to stay in bounds as Bravado gets a couple hard-fought yards there. Brings up 2nd and 8.
And I've got to say, I understand you don't want to be too predictable, but tossing to the weak side whenever you're running that bunch just feels like a little bit too risky.
To the ground game, McBride. Again, good tackle in the middle of the field. It certainly seems like the off-tackle runs are what's hurting LA most on defense, but otherwise they've been playing the run game pretty well against Vancouver.
Couldn't agree more. It's the stuff that's coming in between the tackles that they're able to shut down and read.
3rd and 4, Hasselbeck in a rollout. Good protection, sets his feet. Gonna fire interception. Going back the other way is Mike Scott, and he's going to get buried down at about the 20-yard line for LA, but that's a huge turnover for the Lycans to shift momentum in this ball game.
And it felt like a matter of time before we saw a ball forced into a tight window that just was not going to pay off. We've seen a few dropped interceptions from LA prior to now, and finally they don't drop this one. Instead, they snatch it away right as Vancouver is really starting to get within range of chance to win, making this a 2-score ball game. So the perfect time to come up with a big turnover.
first turnover of the ball game.
Oh.
LA starting with the run, and Iniguez only his second carry of the game, but another TFL, and it's going to be a 2nd and 12.
These run plays are just not paying off from LA, and part of it's because they haven't done a good enough job setting up the pass as a consistent threat.
Richardson retreats, sets his feet, fires wide open. Chris Lee, first down yardage out across the 30-yard line to the 31.
And this is one of those that Chris Lee is feeling like he needs to make up catches for the balls that he's dropped earlier. This is one of those tight windows, but it's the incredible footwork where he stops on a dime and just completely leaves the defender, honestly, like a Looney Tunes character skating on ice.
You almost anticipate a little, like a brake sound being heard there, skirt. Split backs, Iniguez, no way!
God.
Wow! I mean, what more can you say? Josh Farnsey just blowing it up.
This is an absolute murder in the run game. The Legion have said, no, you will not have the ground. Beat us through the air or lose.
Absolutely incredible.
Look at him stacking the box again.
They're going to try and run again. Good run there, this time by Rudlang, but only a couple of yards. It's going to be a 3rd and long once again for LA.
Don't get me wrong, Patrick Rudlang's an incredible player. Asking him to run up the gut against an 8-man box on 2nd and long, that I don't get that one.
5 wide this time on 3rd and 9. Tree the motion man. Richardson to the air. In trouble, throws a high one and couldn't quite reel that one in. Chris Lee having a hard time reeling in the football here from Richardson today, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
Talk about deja vu on that one, too. It's the same general concept with that route for Chris Lee where he's running an outside post, and Sully Richardson has to throw the ball and loft it above the coverage that's underneath, and he's going to have to go up high point and catch it. And that's twice now. He's turned, gone up to go get it, and it's just come right off his fingertips.
The 1 first down, and that's it for the LA offense after they turned the ball over, or turned the football over from Vancouver, I should say. And now the Legion get an opportunity at the football at their own 41-yard line. Just over 4 minutes to go. A defensive slugfest I don't think was on anyone's bingo card for tonight's matchup.
Definitely not. But, funny things happen. You have to watch every game.
Hasselbeck still in the game for Christian Brown, who got injured earlier on in the first quarter. Bravado, nowhere to go. Only gets maybe a half a yard. Tackle made by Spiraw.
And, it's the outside linebackers for Los Angeles that have done the best job containing the run game from Vancouver. It's whenever a safety or a corner has been asked to step up and make a tackle that things have gone awry.
So back, pressure coming on the blitz, throws a dime to Lockett, who somehow holds on in one-on-one coverage for the 1st down.
I thought that Mike Scott was going to spot that one down on the ground. He was blanketed all over Nick Lockett. It did not look like there was any window to even see through, much less fit a ball inside of. And it's just an incredible effort by Lockett to not give up on what seemed to be a surefire pass deflection.
Moving into LA territory, fresh set of downs inside the 40-yard line. Hasselbeck back to the air. Quick fires. One-handed grab there, and that's why he's a Hall of Famer. Brett Killian with the snag in the 1st down.
BK12, you don't get a nickname like that just for being somebody that hangs around for a while. No, you get these kinds of names by leaving a mark on the league, and you see how he's able to do some things that are honestly some of the most athletic stuff that you can see on the field, some of the most electric action around.
Under 3 to go here in the 1st half. 4 wide. Trips towards the bottom of the formation. Hasselbeck back to the ground game. Bravado with a good run there. He'll creep inside the SFL red zone. 2nd and 4 coming up.
And now that they're getting back within the red zone, it's once again that danger area for both teams here. LA stiffens up here, but I think Vancouver might have figured out something by now. They've had a couple of trips to try and find a wrinkle.
So the run game again, McBride this time, and maybe a pity half a yard on that one, as it's going to bring up third down. Tazzy Blackwell with the stop.
And what a job by the inside linebacker who just sees this one coming all the way and immediately fills the gap that they know the ball is going through. This is just a clinic from this linebacking core for LA.
That's going to bring us to the 2-minute warning. Vancouver up by 6, only 2 field goals for their offense here tonight, but they are knocking on the door once again as you're watching the SFL on VFN. And look at the rushing yards totals between these two teams. Vancouver clearly doing a much better job of running the football. LA just one-dimensional at this point, yet somehow only down by less than a touchdown.
It's that defense, their championship caliber team on that side of football.
Hasselbeck rolls out. He's going to fire near the end zone and incomplete.
Pseudo Nakai really letting the Lycans off the hook with that one, because there were no defenders around when he had that one bounce straight off of his helmet. That was just a mess. I know he's a fullback, but you got to catch those, man.
Win 2 for 2 on the evening, trying to make it 3 for 3, and he will bend it through the uprights to make it 9-0 with just under 2 minutes to go here in the opening half of play. And that's what Vancouver likes to do. They like to rotate those fullbacks in almost as an H-back, essentially. Use them as tight ends, pass catchers within these route trees that they come up with. And they've got 2 talented tight ends in Sharona Pravado and John Michael Sudduth as well.
It really does make them a very versatile team with a lot of options in a lot of places. The challenge honestly becomes, how do you get everyone involved?
Kneel down in the end zone. LA going to bring it out to the 20-yard line. All 3 timeouts for Vancouver, only 2 for LA, as they lost one off of the unsuccessful challenge earlier in the quarter. Richardson has done well, 7 of 16, 101 yards. No touchdowns, no interceptions. To the air, low ball, located and caught. And it's going to be a first down for LZ Pryor out across the 30.
Putting that one, even with the yellow stripes on the socks, I tell you, that one was way down low that you had to bend over. And, you know, they say don't lift with your arms. You have to lift, don't lift with your back. On that one, he had to bend with his back.
Got to lift with the legs. Clock continuing to roll here. Flash the motion man. Pitch play to Iniguez. That's his best run of the evening, and that's not saying much. Only got a few yards on that one, brings up 2nd and 7.
But hey, fun fact, they just got their first rushing yard of the game. They are now officially positive on team rushing yard.
Quick huddle, delayed handoff, back to the ground game, and this time it's going to be Rudlang. Nothing doing on that one. LA going to burn their 2nd timeout. They're only going to have 1 remaining.
And honestly, I respect what they're doing here. I don't necessarily agree with it, but I get it. It's one of those things where they're trying to leave as little time for Vancouver as possible and acknowledging the fact that they may not get a first down.
5 wide on 3rd and long. Richardson throws, and it's going to be incomplete. Looking for Iniguez near the far sideline there, around the midfield stripe. And nothing doing. That freezes the clock at 47 seconds. And Vancouver still an opportunity to put some points on the board with all 3 timeouts.
A real heartbreaker there is to see Iniguez have that one also bounce off his fingers. You might want to check the equipment manager's gloves. Make sure that everyone is playing with modern materials and not gloves of stone.
Clearly Nakai fields the punt, brings it out to the 37-yard line. 40 seconds exactly between us and the halftime break. And Vancouver will get the second half kickoff as well, so an opportunity to double dip for them possibly.
Now with all 3 timeouts left, I fully expect them to take a couple of shots here.
Certainly no reason not to. Hasselbeck still in the game. Everyone coming, and no one was there.
Oh, my.
Dropped it. And the penalty marker is going to be roughing the passers, so they go ahead and get the yardage anyway. But, oh, my goodness. How wide open was Brett Killian on this play?
You can't get any more wide open than that. Literally every defender was coming straight for Hasselbeck. And it's one of the easiest throws that he had all day. I don't know how Brett Killian didn't haul that one in. Oh man, he's kicking himself.
Literally a 0 blitz called on that play, and Killian couldn't haul it in. Thankfully for Vancouver, Tazzy Blackwell a little late to the party, so they get 15 yards. But man, oh man, that was an easy score as Bravado gets the pitch play there for only about a yard or so before Vancouver calls the first time out.
Now I'm really starting to be curious about what kind of equipment this equipment manager's been passing out for both teams tonight. What on earth is happening? No one can catch a football.
4 wide, bunch receivers towards the bottom of the formation. Hasselbeck rolls that way. He's going to set his feet and fire, and it's incomplete. Threw it into traffic, intended for Lockett. And now it's going to be 3rd and 9 with less than 30 seconds to go.
And on 3rd and 9 here, normally you'd think, oh, there's a degree of confidence here. Maybe you can do a medium range play and then something a little bit longer. But it's tricky because you have to accept that you're in 4-down territory.
3rd down. Pressure coming again. Hasselbeck avoids it. Gonna throw. He's got the completion. Killian makes up for his previous mistake, dropping the easy pass, and Vancouver down to 1 timeout now.
Hasselbeck looking like Ty Patak with how he's shedding these sack attempts in the pocket or on the move, delivering strikes way downfield. Are we sure that we can't sign this guy to a contract?
Inside the 30 now. Hasselbeck throws one-on-one coverage and incomplete. Rochelle Colston in there one-on-one on Lily Nakai, and it's going to bring up 2nd down with 19 seconds to go.
Rochelle's still upset after that pass got away from her in the 1st quarter and absolutely looking to take out her frustrations on anyone in a white jersey.
LA manning up across the board. Single back is McBride. Lily Nakai goes in motion, 2 and 2.
Nakai's on the linebacker.
Hasselbeck going the other way, instead throws it into 4 blue jerseys. And it's going to be 3rd down now.
I think if you wait another half a second, there's a little bit of separation that Nakai would have gotten on that play because she was actually matched up after the motion. She was matched up against Brogan Sparrow in coverage. He's a very capable player, but she had him in space.
And coverage again here on 3rd down. 14 seconds, 1 timeout for the Legion. Delayed handoff, goes to Bravado. Gets rid of the 1st and the 2nd defender. Gang tackled near the middle of the field. 4th and 7 coming up. Last timeout spent with 7 seconds to go. And we'll see another field goal attempt here from Chance to Win.
Trying to remain perfect on the season so far. Long 47 so far today. This would be within that. So just get that workout.
1 from 43. Good snap, good hold. And it is going to barely bend through the uprights there. A perfect 4 for 4, and all 12 points in this ball game are responsible to Chance to Win.
Out here, in this one, the smoothness of how Chance's kicking so far is honestly one of those things that, it's reminding me of a golf stroke at this point. That one looked like about a 5 wood from the fairway.
I'd say that's fair. Some good air on that one. A little bit of backspin. I'd say it's probably maybe closer to a 52-degree wedge, maybe from about, 60 yards off the green.
I think I'll give you the point there.
2 seconds to go. Probably time for one more play for LA before we hit the halftime break.
One big bomb. Let's see it.
Richardson retreats, sets his feet, fires in the middle of the field, and the only person in the area was Jack Russell, and he couldn't reel that one in. That brings us to triple zeros and halftime as the Vancouver Legion in a field goal attack, up 12-0 over the hometown LA Lycans. What are your thoughts here, Alex West, as we get a look at the first half stats and highlights?
Well, I think I'm going to be holding my breath to see what happens in the second half in terms of Christian Brown. If he comes back, then I fully expect the Legion to put this game to bed. If he does not, then I believe that the Lycans can really manage to make some adjustments here in the second half, take advantage of the vulnerabilities they've been shown, and try to put some points on the board. That's the biggest challenge, though. You have to put points on the board, and you're not doing that when you only have one rushing yard at the half.
Our halftime player to watch is none other than Chance to Win. 4 field goals there in the first half, the only 12 points on the board. And we will step aside and take a quick break, brought to you by Brakes GPT.
Just pulled a full-size Taylor Swift helmet. Shout out to all our Swifties. Travis Kelce. This is a Giants Lawrence Taylor.
Patrick Mahomes.
Chad Johnson with the Ocho Cinco.
We have a Drew Brees.
Is that an O.J. Simpson jersey?
An Aaron Rodgers.
Oh my goodness.
Tom Brady! Tom Brady!
He wants you to break into the world of sports memorabilia collecting with Brakes GPT. Featuring signed football jerseys, helmets, photos, and more, Brakes GPT offers you the shot at winning autographed and authenticated sports memorabilia at a fraction of the price. Join the community of collectors on our Brakes GPT Facebook page and lock in your shot at hitting a humongous headliner on our site, brakesgpt.com. Fielded just inside the end zone and up to the 27-yard line. And we will toss it over to SFL HQ for the first time and talk to Commissioner Cameron Irvine with a game break. Cam.
Thank you, Eric. Queen City playing well, but Pittsburgh is hanging in there. BB Belitz with the touchdown makes it 17-14, but the Corsairs still lead. Michael Brown, 8 touchdowns, no picks in his last 9 quarters. Back to you.
Thank you, Cam. Injury update for Christian Brown. He has a stress fracture in his foot. He will be out for the remainder of the game, so we will see Mark Hasselbeck with the quarterback duties for the rest of the game, and a 7-yard rushing attack there on first down to make it 2nd and 3.
And I would honestly expect to see a lot more of this rushing attack from Vancouver, given that they've got a 2-score lead coming into the second half. It's been what's got them ahead. They would be playing with fire to go away from it.
Hasselbeck 7 of 17, 118 yards and a pick. Going to keep it on the ground to Ike McBride, who gets the first down and scoots out across the 40-yard line, keeping the drive alive.
And honestly, one of the things that's not talked about with Ike McBride enough is her vision. She had an opportunity there to go left or right at the guard, and she went left because she saw Bear Winters swimming to the right side. She waited until he was committed before she picked her lane.
Pitch to Bravado. Buries the defender there and bounces it to the near sideline. Still in bounds as he's rumbling down the near sideline, eventually ushered out of bounds. What a run there by Mateo Bravado.
Oh my goodness. And forget the run. Let's just talk about the sending someone absolutely to the sidelines to get some oxygen. Get that man some milk. That was brutal. Ben Sharps put on his butt. And you know that he's upset about that one. Is going to be looking for some payback.
Well, and you know what? Kudos to Ben Sharps because he got sent to the shallow realm clearly on that hit there. But he was the closest guy to make the tackle at the very end of the play, so clearly got back up and was ready for more. Keeping it on the ground there, this time to McBride, and tackle made by Tazzy Blackwell, gain of 3.
And just as a fun fact, Ben Sharps was still ready to play, was still lining up on the very next snap. So that guy just has a will to win like I have not seen many people do.
and not a chance to win. He got there. He got there. 2nd and 7, 4 wide now for the Legion. Keeping it on the ground. Bravado again. Stiff arm. This time Charb's getting the tackle, and you hear it from the LA faithful here. They're excited about that one.
Told you he wanted payback, and there he goes and gets some. He's not one to be put on the highlight reel and not get you back at least once.
Hasselbeck gonna throw, had a couple receivers in the area, but Killian able to locate that one. Charbs making the tackle shy of the line to gain, forcing a 4th down. And I think they're going to have to punt here. No, chance to win, gonna try a 45-yarder now.
All right, now be very quiet. He's on the right hash. I see him getting the sand wedge.
And he's gonna bend one in now. 5 field goals for chance to win. And all 5 of them are the only points that we have seen on the board.
And the first 4, he managed a nice fade on. This time we see him draw it to the left. He does not care which hash he's on. He does not care which way the wind is blowing. He is going to be sending it through the uprights today. It's just, this guy just can't miss.
I mean, kickers, much like golfers, it doesn't matter. You have to hit the shots as it lies. So, hats off to him. And again, only points on the board that we've seen tonight from either team. Good return out across the 25 to the 27-yard line by Bubba Tree. And in case you guys were wondering out there, the SFL record is 7 field goals within a game. That's set by Otis Boudreau. So we're a couple away from that record being tied, but still, I mean, hell of an effort by chance to win.
Plenty of time left to see us tied as well. If things continue as they have been. Again, this LA pass defense is pretty stout. They're bend but don't break. They've managed to hold Hasselbeck to 8 of 18 on the day so far. It's the run game that's really killed LA.
Their offense has really been one-dimensional so far. We'll see if they made some first half adjustments in the locker room as they come out for their first possession here in the second half. They'll start off with the rushing attack, and offensive line still doing Iniguez no favors as he gets tackled for a loss of about 2.
And we're back to -1 rushing yards on the game so far, folks. LA just cannot get it going on the ground today, and they can't stop the ground game either. Both lines need a serious talking to.
Richardson to the air, overthrows his intended receiver, Chris Lee, and that was almost an interception going the other way by runoff.
Almost. It only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades, though, so LA still has a chance. 3rd and long, but, at least a punt's going to get you further downfield than an interception will.
5 wide, 3rd and 12. Started off 3 and 2. Now going 2 and 3. Richardson in trouble. He's going to take off and run. Has plenty of room. Going to slide and just barely gets the ball across the line as he initiated the slide. First down for LA.
And what wheels he has on this moment. It's a great job by the pocket to hold. He senses, he sees the coverage downfield is blanketing his guys, looks to find a running lane, sees it on the weak side, takes off for it, and slides down there like he's Jackie Robinson coming across that first down marker.
Past the 35 at the 37. First down for the Lycans. Blitz coming. Run game trying to get established here, but nothing doing. I mean, when you send 8 or 9 guys into the box, you're probably not going to have any success on a rushing attack.
And it's something that really has me scratching my head on why Sully isn't audibly out of these runs when he sees what they're doing.
Good point by Mark Lopez in the chat. Sully now with more rushing yards than their entire team. Richardson in trouble. He's going to throw and tried to thread the needle in between a couple different Vancouver defenders. Going to bring up another 3rd and long.
And it's just a little bit of a difficult ask to really get any kind of movement from this offense, it seems. They just seem like they're stuck in molasses or even a couple of them seem like they've got concrete shoes instead of sneakers.
Pez sneaking up. He's going to blitz, and he's going to get to Richardson. Came in unblocked. He was the hot man, and no one was able to block him as he brings down Richardson for the loss and forcing the 4th down.
The house came. The protection package was not able to create a pocket for Richardson to sit in. There were just too many men coming at him, and he did not get the ball out fast enough. And that just is an incredible job by the Legion defense.
Punt by John Smith. This time fair caught by Leading Nikai near the 21-yard line. You're watching Simulation Football League action here on the Virtual Football Network. This week on VFM, we'll feature the SFL today, SFLM Week 9 action on Thursday, and the UFL Friday and Saturday. It's another week of nonstop action right here on the Virtual Football Network. .5:10 to go here in the third. LA going to send pressure again. Bravado with another run, moving his legs and carrying defenders for a gain of 8.
Been somewhat emblematic of the entire night has been Mateo Bravado getting the ball for an off-tackle run or just inside the C, just going inside the C gap to just hammer this down the throats of LA and make them do something about it. They have not done it so far. Look at the yards after contact, 63 so far.
Sticking with the run game here. This time McBride trying to get as much as she possibly can, only maybe about a half a yard. Dolan Lane with the stop, 3rd and 1.
And let's see if LA even tries to stack the box on this one.
Sticking with the run game, Bravado, good run up the middle and good blocking by the Legion offensive line. That's going to move the sticks once more for Vancouver.
Man, it just seems like the Legion offensive game plan is going to perfection here, even with having to replace your all-star quarterback with a backup. And it's because of how well they're using creative formations to open up this LA box, to make them sit and dime again and again and again.
Delay, this time a fumble, and LA has the possession of the football. Barra was right there, Johnny on the spot, Alex.
And a miracle moment for LA, who finally gets a lucky break. They've had an interception earlier. Now they finally force a turnover, and this time they are deep inside Vancouver territory. This is one of the most golden opportunities you have to put some points on the board. You're on the 35-yard line. Just push forward a little bit.
Alex Perez had a sack earlier in the first half, able to get the forced fumble there. 2 turnovers by this Lycans defense, yet no points on the board. We'll see if they can change that here. Richardson to the air, going to check it out to Iniguez. And he'll drag the defender a couple yards forward and get 6 out of the deal, bringing up 2nd and 4.
Jack Russell doing his best there to try and lay the wood, but ultimately finds himself a little outmatched by Iniguez, who only has a little bit of weight on it. It was the angle of pursuit.
Back to the ground game, Iniguez trying to find any room at all. Actually, check it. That's Patrick Rudlang who checked in for Iniguez, and he gets close to the line to gain, bringing up a 3rd and 1.
This season's 3rd overall pick, Patrick Rudlang, has had a few opportunities to touch the football tonight, but hasn't been able to make a whole lot of noise so far. That one, I felt him a little bit. We'll see if he gets more action.
3rd and 1. A lot of white jerseys in the box. They're going to keep it on the ground. And Iga is able to avoid initial contact, and he's going to get the 1st down.
And finally, a little bit of life from the front 5 of the Lycans, who are making a handful of blocks where they need to be made. But also these running backs are still being asked to shuck a tackle just to get past the line of scrimmage almost every time. That is not a formula for success. You have to push harder in the trenches.
Key point, Alex. At some point in time, these running backs are going to have to just say, well, screw it. I'm going to go ahead and have to get rid of some tacklers along the way. As Rudline checks back in, he'll get another carry for a couple of yards.
And it's a tight running lane that he was trying to work through but it was a rough moment to try and run inside with how many bodies Vancouver had thrown at the inside. Bouncing to the outside might have been an answer there, but it's 50-50 either way. He took 2 yards.
Richardson rolls out. He's in trouble. He's going to fire end zone, incomplete. He had one-on-one coverage there right in the middle of the end zone with Drew Hamilton. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 8.
Trying to hit Adam Grabowski in the end zone for a big touchdown that would have really turned this game on its head and would have been Grabowski's first touchdown of the season. Unfortunately, he can't come up with it.
2:01 to go here in the 3rd. Crucial 3rd down here for the Lycans offense. Richardson back to the air. He's in trouble. He's going nowhere. Pocket was collapsing right away, and I can't even give credit to a single person on that defensive front there for the Legion because they all got there.
Truly, you can say that they are a Legion with how effectively they've been able to rush the pass, especially on this particular down. There was just no way, no how for Sully to even have a sliver of time to think about a pass.
If I were to give credit to somebody, it'd be Judah Sessi. But either way, it's going to bring up a field goal attempt here for Smith, and Smith doinks it off the upright. Just adding insult to injury. No points off the turnover still.
Salt in the wound, lemon juice in the eye, just getting slapped in the face with a riding glove. How much worse can it get for the Lycans faithful at home? This has been brutal.
Their defense has played top-notch against one of the best offenses in the league. And the LA offense has gotten absolutely goose-egg tonight. So Vancouver takes over from the 32-yard line with 90 seconds to go in the 3rd. Bravado back to the ground game. Plenty of room on the far sideline. Stiff arm there, stays in bounds, and is going to get 15.
And 15 hard won, but it's just looked effortless because this is the job of the secondary getting blocked by their receivers, making it so that a corner or a safety has to be coming over the top to try and catch a man who's running in open space with a full head of steam and has 50 pounds on whoever's coming for him. It's just not going to end well for you.
Give him 17 on that play. McBride checks in, and she's bottled up near the line of scrimmage, maybe a half a yard, as Brummer is able to drag her down. It's going to bring up 2nd and 9.
And this is going to be the key. If you can generate 2 big stops in a row because of how Vancouver is clearly just going to run the ball down your throat until you make them pass it.
Delayed handoff, Bravado back to the ground game. He's over the century mark as he gets close to another 1st down here. Man, oh man, 3rd and 1. And this rushing attack for Vancouver, it's really been the focal point for their offense tonight.
And it's how they've been able to generate such easy running lanes is part of these big wide sets that they've been throwing with lots of receivers.
McBride, 3rd and 1, able to get the 1st down, running between the tackles. And that is probably going to bring us to the end of 3.
But it's something I really got to ask you because I feel like you and I have been seeing the same football game so far. How soft has this Lycans interior defense been?
I mean, it's been pretty soft, especially in the middle of the field. They're shifting all over the place, giving them the middle of the field virtually every play. As we reach the end of 3, give us your 4s in the chat. 15-0 lead for the Vancouver Legion over the LA Lycans as you're watching the SFL on VFN. Eric Vitson and SFLM Commissioner Alex West here in the broadcast booth. Ron Haynes, Jacob Clear in the stats truck. SFL Commissioner Cameron Irvine back at SFL HQ. One more quarter to go here. It's been all Vancouver, but not the way you would think, as LA's defense trying to do their best to keep their team in the ball game with one more quarter to play.
Only one left to go. Time is running out, and LA has not been able to put up anything on the board. Their best chances doinked off the left upright after they managed a miraculous fumble recovery deep in enemy territory.
Pressure coming. McBride able to get rid of the first defender. Good open field tackle there by Tazzy Blackwell. If Tazzy didn't make that tackle, I think McBride was off to the end zone.
At the very least, she's off to the first down markers because of how much green space she had to the front and left, and she had oceans of space between her and the sideline to really get that separation.
Sets up a 3rd and long now for Vancouver. 4 wide, Lily Nakai, the motion man. Hasselbeck to throw, 7-step drop, throws it into coverage, and Tazzy almost had an interception on that one. Said it's going to be a 4th down.
And this is exactly what LA is hoping for. They're wanting to see Vancouver really commit full bore to running it on 1st and 2nd down just to try and get the clock down. That makes Vancouver more one-dimensional. If you know what's coming on 1st down and 2nd down, you can commit to stopping that run so you can force them on 3rd and longs and ask a backup quarterback to make tough 3rd down conversions.
More importantly, keeping them out of field goal range, as Tuin is forced to punt the football for a change, and it's going to trickle into the end zone for a touchback. How many likes do we have on this video so far? It's not enough. You got to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Make sure you got the notifications turned on. You don't want to miss a minute of SFL and SFLM action. Help this channel grow through your support. Back to the ground game, Iniguez. Good gain of 5, and I'd argue that's probably his best run of the game.
And where's this been all night? Like, suddenly the front 5 are finding a little bit of push here, but maybe how much of it is just Vancouver expecting a pass here, and how much of it is finally the front 5 getting some shove?
Might be too little too late to get the run game involved here. Down 15 points. Flip backs. Richardson under center, taking his time. He's going to hand it off to Rudlang. And a good carry there. Gain of 3, setting up 3rd and short.
And I really don't like these decisions from LA's offense, because I understand that you're trying to make sure that the defense respects that you can run the football, but down 2 scores, one of which requires a 2-point conversion, is not the time to be working the clock.
Going to try and stay with the run game. Iniguez avoids the first defender, avoids the second, and pays for it with the 3rd. As Marquise Breed able to finally get the stop. And man, Iniguez is happy just to get some positive yards.
Couldn't be more correct on that one. This is one where he looked dead to rights, but managed some miracle fancy feet footwork to make one guy miss, pushed his way out of a second. There's only so much you can do there. There's only so many people you can get around.
Like, didn't keep it on the ground. Rudlang with 6 yards on 1st down here. At some point, coaching staff has got to look at their play sheet and realize, okay, we got 7 minutes to go, and we're down 2 possessions.
We've got to start airing it out here, but I understand why they're a little hesitant to do so. Sully Richardson has not had an awe-inspiring day. He's 9 of 23 so far, under 40%.
Still trying to keep it on the ground, Vancouver. Showing a little bit more of that run defense that we've seen virtually all game long, and a loss of a couple on that one.
You want to talk about seeing it virtually all game long. Let's just go through Los Angeles' rushing yards by quarter as a team. -1 in the 1st, 3 yards in the 2nd, 19 yards in the 3rd, and 24 so far here in the 4th.
Richardson got a throw into coverage and incomplete. Looked like he had a man, but Jack Russell laid a big hit on the back end and forced the incompletion.
Looking for Chris Lee downfield, and it's 4th down and 4. The gambler in me says you have to start going for it, but I don't think that they're going to, because they have all of their timeouts.
Yeah, I don't think it's quite that point in time. It is very much on a razor's edge at this point, but LA is going to elect a punt, try to back them up in their own end, and it's going to be fielded at the 24-yard line with 6:25 to go here in the 4th.
And now LA just has to sack the box, because look at what Vancouver is going to do. Look what they've been doing all night. They've been jamming it down on the ground. There's nothing else coming this way.
They're going to keep it on the ground again. Bravado. It's already had over 100 yards tonight, adds 4 more on that play, bringing up second down.
And what they're doing consistently is they're forcing you to respect the possibility of a pass by lining up in 3-4 receiver sets and running draw plays over and over again.
McBride this time. Good move there, but stopped before the line to gain. 3rd and 1 now coming up. And it's important to point out, Alex, I mean, even with a backup quarterback, this offense still averaging over 5 yards a play.
And so much of that is because of the heavy lifting that these backs have done on carry after carry after carry to consistently move the ball down the field.
3rd and 1, Bravado trying to get the first down. He will just barely get forward progress and move the sticks for the Legion.
A friendly spot, but one that I think ultimately is accurate. I don't think we'll see a challenge flag here. They should probably hold on to that one.
Lost one earlier in the ball game. Approaching the 5-minute mark here in the 4th. McBride this time, trying to cut it back towards the middle of the field, getting 6 yards, bringing up 2nd and 4. Clock continuing to roll.
And this has just been the identity of Vancouver so far this entire game. Time of possession, over 19 minutes and counting before this drive even started, compared to the 14 minutes and 40 seconds that LA has had all game.
Bravado back to the ground now. He'll get a couple. And this is just what you're going to see. Nothing but the rushing. There's no reason to put the ball in harm's way with a backup quarterback. And if you're just joining us, Christian Brown out for the rest of the game. Went down in the first quarter with a stress fracture to his foot.
Threw exactly one pass, got it completed, but that was it.
3rd and 2, big 3rd down here for the Lycans defense. To the ground, McBride buried near the line of scrimmage, no gain, and LA going to get the stop there with right around 4 minutes to go in the ball game.
Sparrow absolutely standing him up in the backfield on that one, and in a critical moment too, because this is the last gasp. If Vancouver was able to get that first down, they could have kept chunking away at this clock with absolute impunity.
Win with the punt. Fielded at about the 15. Bubba Tree avoiding defenders. He's bouncing it to the outside and gets past the 30-yard line to the 32, just north of 3:30 to go and all 3 timeouts.
Makes 2 miss, really trying to give everything he's got because Bubba Tree has not been involved in this game at all up to this point. He has no targets. He has no catches. The only thing that he has been able to do to leave a mark on this game has been participating in special teams. He finally gets a chance to make a play there.
And Alex, he had 1 defender to beat there. Otherwise, it was just nothing but green grass.
And high tides forever.
3:38 to go. Richardson to the air. Going to throw it over the middle and drops. Had Elsie Pryor.
It's been the story of the LA's receiving core tonight. Sully Richardson is doing a decent job putting the ball where his receivers should be able to catch it, but they are getting their hands on it and watching it pop right back out.
No choice but to empty out the backfield here. Down 2 possessions, 3.5 to go. Richardson again, gonna throw. This time a little inaccurate on that one. Looking for Chris Lee. Gonna bring up 3rd down.
Trying to hit Chris Lee, who's on a streak route, but the danger of throwing that one, because yes, Chris Lee is in one-on-one coverage on the outside, but the safety is there, and he had not cleared the safety with any kind of head fake. That was nearly going the other way.
3rd down for Richardson. Sidearms it, completes it to Lee, and it's going to be a 1st down. He's got 10 of 27, 126 yards, no huddle. Richardson to throw, almost threw a pick to Mark Lopez. How do you not reel that one in, Mark?
The entire stadium just sucked in a collective breath of panic. They're all breathing sighs of relief as Mark Lopez drops what would have been the game-sealing interception right there. –
Still going with 5 wide. Richardson sticking under center. Richardson throws and batted down right at the line of scrimmage. Michael Rury has been in his grill all night long.
Holding our breath here because we not only want to see if LA can manage to put some points on the board, make this game a little closer, we're also holding our breath to see if Sully Richardson can manage some interesting numbers today.
Richardson back to the air, throws, catch is made, and that's Bubba Tree there with his first catch.
At last.
Out across the 40. No huddle again. Richardson throws, catch made. LZ Pryor inside the 20 to the SFL red zone. Richardson throws again, looking for Tree, but incomplete. Got to be second down now. And that is going to do it. 35,000 career passing yards for Sully Richardson. Only the 11th quarterback in league history to ever do it. Congratulations.
Hearty congratulations. It's a matter of longevity, but also skill. He's been steadily plying his trade for 12 seasons, has an all-star on his resume. This is a big number for him and a big milestone to reach.
Only milestone he's looking at right now is to get a W in the win column. Checks it over to Pryor. Dispatches the defender over the middle and got a couple of yards extra. 3rd and 5. Richardson again. Throws, had a man. One-on-one coverage. Man, oh man, Grabowski couldn't reel it in. 4th down.
And that is thanks to an absolutely brutal hit by Josh Farnsey, who was in coverage on that one, knowing that Grabowski was going to be running that outside post route, did not get fooled, did not get left in the dust, stayed with him step for step, and waited until the last second.
So LA resets on 4th down. Down 2 possessions, 2:33 to go. Richardson going to check it over the middle, finds Jack Flash and rumbles forward for a 1st down. 1st and goal as they reset.
Hurry up, 5 wide. They must like the look.
Richardson to the air again. Throws off the shoelace of Ron Hoff, and he's got reservations for 6. Back to Canada he goes. Ta-ta. Goodbye. Good night, Charlie.
That will do it. It's just an incredibly... how do you even chalk all this up? This is a moment where you have to look at Ron Hoff and realize that he's one of the best corners in the league. He's not just another corner that's part of this defensive core. He is a key part of this defense. And he shows on this instance where he reads the look that's coming. He knows what's heading his way. He's seen enough film, and he's exactly where he needs to be to snag that one and put this one to bed.
Only touchdown we have seen on the board here tonight comes off of a Ron Hoff pick 6. Chance to win, 5 field goals under his belt tonight. He adds an extra point, and it's now 22-0 with 2:07 to go. LA is just kicking themselves right now.
They absolutely are. They had a golden chance, and instead they get a little bit too froggy. They have a moment from the 5-yard line. You shouldn't be running 5 wide. You take a minute, you let the 2-minute warning hit, you reset, you really think about what you're wanting to do from the 5-yard line because it's critical.
Another deep kick by Tuin, another touchback out to the 20-yard line. Pittsburgh up on top of Queen City over on the other channel, 20-17 as they near the 4th quarter of action. You certainly don't want to miss that. Go ahead and check them out once you're done with us. 2:06 to go here.
Another fun stat, that pick made Ron Hoff tied in a 4-way tie for leading his team in interceptions. There are 4 Legion players with 3 on the season.
That is kind of bonkers. As Richardson able to complete that one as we reach the 2-minute warning here in LA. Vancouver just shut the door on the Lycans with 2 minutes to go, up 22-0. Eric Vincent, Alex West here with you in the broadcast booth. Ron Haynes, Jacob Clear in the stats truck. Commissioner Cameron Irvine back at SFL HQ. LA looking to pad the stats here in garbage time, hoping to get maybe a few points on the board, but that one falls incomplete, bringing up second down.
Yeah, and the Legion are very happy with the goose egg they've currently got on the board. This defense has been absolutely monstrous to deal with on whether you're passing it or whether you're trying to run it. The Lycans have not had the answers, and the Legion are looking to keep it that way. It doesn't matter that the game is over. They want the 0.
Richardson throws, almost threw another one there. Josh Farnsey has been all over the map tonight, Alex. He almost had an interception there.
It's really hard to say who's been the most impressive defensive player tonight so far, but I would argue that despite the fact that Ron Hoff has the interception, it really is Josh Farnsey because he's got 2 TFLs, he's got so many tackles, he's leading his squad, and he's got a pass deflection. He is everywhere.
3rd and 10, Richardson back to the air. High points the football, Chris Lee does. First time out called by LA.
And there's one. Not many options left, but they're going to play to the whistle. They want to try and put points on the board. They want to have as much time as they can to work with to try and do something here. At least make it a 2-score ball game or even a 1-score ball game. Who knows what's possible?
Richardson throws into traffic, completes it to Lee, into Vancouver territory, second timeout call.
And at the very least, you can say Sully Richardson has a great matter of what I call short-term amnesia. He doesn't remember that he's throwing 40% tonight. He doesn't remember that he just threw a pick 6. He doesn't remember any of that. He's just focused on the next pass.
Next pass right here. Almost threw it to Mark Lopez once again. There's another guy that's just been all over the map. Pass deflections, you name it.
Only thing that Mark Lopez hasn't done is get an interception of his own. He dropped that golden chance he had earlier, but I think he'll be thinking about that one tonight too, and he'll make sure he doesn't drop that one if he gets another one next week.
He's had a couple pass deflections. He's had a sack tonight as well. Richardson this time throws another interception, and it's going to be another pick 6. Going back the other way is Lester, and that is definitely going to do it here from the City of Angels.
Can't come back from that, not whenever you have back-to-back pick 6s on the last 2 drives. These corners have seen the film. These corners have read the scout and debriefs. They know what Sully wants to do and where he likes to throw it, and they've been lurking in these passing lanes all night. That puts the Legion on 20 takeaways for the season, an absolutely surreal number.
Michael Lister with a pick 6 just there. Ron Hoff with a pick 6 on the last possession. And Vancouver are going to walk out of here with a victory for sure. The only question is by how much.
And you know what? I don't even want to entertain that question. Let's look forward. Let's see what else is coming down the pipe, shall we? This was ultimately a divisional game, but Legion up near the top. This will propel them to 6-2. Lycans at the bottom of the division. This will put them at 2-7. Coming up, both of these teams have some opponents that they would really love to beat, but I don't like the Lycans' chances against many of them. They've got the Headhunters, the Trident, and then the Scorpions. And the only one that looks somewhat competitive on paper is the Scorpions.
And both of those latter 2 games there, the Trident and the Scorpions, both divisional matchups. Vancouver taking care of their division foes here tonight against the Lycans. So they are all done and dusted as far as that goes. They needed this game to keep pace in the West Division, and there's another interception. Lister now with 2. And that one's definitely going to do it now.
It was already done, but now this is done like a steak that got left on the grill for an hour. You just can't. This thing is about as done as an old tire, shoe leather.
I'm glad you said that because you took the words right out of my mouth. Yeah, this is about as done as a shoe that has been put on the grill for too long.
With that one, I'll also say Lister heard that he was in a tie for the lead of interceptions. He must have been listening to the broadcast booth because he decides, you know what, I'm going to go get 2 interceptions
Break
of my
the
own,
tie.
get myself well and clear of everyone else. Even if someone else wants to get on the interception party, no, I'm leading this team.
And, you know, us in the broadcast booth, we're fans as well. We just want to see a great ball game between two good teams. You know, we're just disappointed that we didn't necessarily see that tonight, especially when LA had so many chances to come back and to make this a good ball game in Vancouver. That's what good teams do. You know, your star quarterback goes down, they just rebound. They find other ways to win ball games and win them well.
They do, and one of the struggles that LA has been having this season really does come down to scoring the football, being able to move the football down the field consistently. It's been something of a bugaboo for them. They've only averaged 15 points, just under 15 points coming into this game, and now they've been blank. It's just not their season on the offensive side of the football.
No, it absolutely isn't, and it's going to be another one of those off seasons for the LA Lycans again. I mean, you've got a quarterback like Sully Richardson. I mean, very clearly a great quarterback. 35,000 career passing yards, only the 11th quarterback to do that in league history. There's got to be something else that you can do. You've got a great running back in Iguez. So
Absolutely.
what is it? You know, and that's the question I think that we've been asking for a few seasons now is when is LA going to turn that page? When are they going to jump to the next chapter? And we just haven't seen it yet. Doesn't mean they won't get there, but that chapter is not right now, as Vancouver takes the win tonight, 29-0. Any final thoughts before we let the people go, Alex West?
Outside of one of the more unique final scores that we've had the opportunity to see here, it's just a heartbreaker for the Lycans, who once again have to ask themselves, what can we be doing differently? And I think it really is going to come down to watching this line of theirs mature, because they have 2 rookies that are both playing guard. They have 2 tackles that only have 3 years experience in the league. There's a lot of work and growth that needs to be done on that front 5 to be able to help this team ascend to the level that their skill positions truly are at. Vancouver has that line. Vancouver has a defense that is full of monsters, and they have talented positions at quarterback, at halfback, fullbacks, wide receivers. Like, they are loaded for bear. So at the end of the day, you got to get the lines right.
Well, folks, Week 10 may be wrapping up today, but Mike St. Green and Cameron Irvine, they are going to be back for a special SFL this week tomorrow night at 7:15 p.m. Eastern. The duo will wrap up the best of the last few weeks around the SFL and get the first look at the playoff bracket as it stands. It's all right here on the VFN. You don't want to miss it. Until then, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and we'll see you on the flip side. Good night, everybody.